What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the greatest combat sports and culture show in the entire universe, the Fight Podcast. I'm your host, SERG VICENTE, and this is episode 330 of the show. Today, we have an incredible show. We have an incredible guest for you guys, and I am joined today by none other than the number 4 ranked UFC heavyweight in the world. We are talking about Chicago's very own Curtis Razor Blaydes. Curtis, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you inviting me on your show.
Oh, dude. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the show, man. It's been like I said, I've wanted to have you on for a while. Obviously, you know, being a Chicago dude, I feel like we're few and far between in combat sports, especially when, like I said, I first started off in the sport. But I mean, obviously now we have some great gyms out there. You have Midwest Training Center. You know, you have everything. You got Bilal Muhammad doing this thing. But you, my friend, are somebody that has repped Chicago, has come up in Chicago. How has Chicago specifically helped your development in combat sports, man?
I mean, just having to learn how to navigate the city and like having the discipline to avoid doing bad stuff and always hitting up on the practice. And like one of the best things about getting involved with sports in Chicago is just an easy way to keep you off the streets, keep you out of the things you're not supposed to be doing. And I was really one of the driving forces for me getting involved with sports. I wanted a reason, an excuse to not have to be out in the streets, to have a reason to be being productive. So that's one of the biggest things I got from growing up in the city, is having to be disciplined. If you want to get somewhere, you got to be disciplined.
Absolutely. No, I love that, man. Especially because I mean, Chicago. Obviously, like I said, I'm from Humboldt Park myself. So like I said, I grew up in the city. You know what I'm saying? That's the place where Black and Puerto Rican dudes kind of meet in the middle, right? You know.
I started off there. That's where I started. It was a boxing gym. I think it was Eckert.
Yeah. Eckert. Over on
like Division.
Yes.
Division, Chicago, something like that. I started off at a boxing gym up there because I had a buddy. He had an uncle who owned it, and he kept hitting me up every day. He was like, "Bro, I want you to come box. I want you to come box." I went up there, and that was the very first time I put on a pair of gloves.
Yeah. Hey, dude. Hey, and one thing I said, Chicago combat sports, man, especially like the boxing culture, is so thick out there, especially with especially coming up. I remember like the Golden Glove tournaments and everything. Everybody used to be all about that life out there. But now, like I said, you have obviously, from high school to college and everything, you are one of the legitimate, huge, dominant wrestling heavyweights. But that's not all that you have, obviously. I mean, we've seen you put down some of the biggest guys. You're talking about boxing with your hands. Can you describe a little bit? Because one thing that I appreciate always from athletes is that athletes that go and find the best training in gyms out there, that Ronin type of mentality, and you're out there with Elevation Fight Team. And I think that's some of the biggest and brightest minds in the sport. You have obviously guys that are huge there. You have smaller guys. Being able to train at a place like that, how has that helped in your development from when you first got there to now?
Well, I think it's been the biggest and most positive impact on my MMA my career. Before I moved out here to Denver, I really didn't have a jiu-jitsu professor. I didn't have a coach for striking. I didn't have a coach for strength and conditioning. I was really, I don't know what the hell I was doing. I wasn't putting in the work and the energy that a professional athlete has to in order to reach the goals he wants to reach. So I moved out to Denver, joined Elevation, got to meet guys like Drew Dober, Neil Magny, Gaethje, Rose. Just being able to be around all these top level, high level guys, and you see the things they do every day, the work they put in every day, and it gives you like a uh, a blueprint. It shows you, okay, if I do these things, I can be here, and
Yeah.
just being around those guys every day and just seeing all the work they do, it's inspiring, and I'm inspired every day to be better because I don't want to let them down because I know that's how they feel. Those are the leaders of the gym, and I want to be a leader one day. So I know I have to it has to be in my actions. You
Hmm.
can't just speak about being a leader. You have to show everyone else you're a leader, and that's one of the biggest things I've gotten from in elevation is just how to be great.
Yeah. One thing that I have appreciated from you, because especially now in MMA, and when I, especially like I said, when I came up, it was more so we had the GSPs and shit of the world, right? The new generation of people have, obviously they look at Conor McGregor and they look at the brass shit talk and everything else.
Yeah,
One thing that I've always appreciated that you've done, especially when it comes to your fighting, is just like you're very honest. Like, look, dude, I'm not going out here to dick around. I'm going out here. I'm
yeah.
gonna put this dude down. I'm gonna punch a hole through his face, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. What has actually finally brought you to that? Because it's so easy to jump into the muck like everybody else and just try to like, hey, this is how people sell fights. Let me do it. How have you been able to stay authentically yourself?
Just always remembering like my base, my background, my first sport was wrestling, and in
Facts.
the wrestling world, there's no smack talking, there's no hyping up matches. There isn't uh, any of that extra. That's one of the things I love about that sport is you go out there, you wrestle, win, lose, or draw. You have to shake the other guy's hand and walk off the mat. You don't cause a scene. You don't talk shit, and that's just how I was raised as an athlete. I don't have any of that in me. I don't
Yeah.
have it. If I was a receiver in the NFL, I would be more of a Larry Fitzgerald than
Hmm.
Ocho Cinco. I just don't have that.
Right.
It's just not in me. So it's
Yeah.
not hard. It's not hard to be me because it's all I know.
I love that, man. I love that. See, that's that Chicago. See, I knew I like these Chicago dudes, bro. We built different. I love that
See,
shit. Shout out to De La Salle High School, by the way.
thank you, appreciate that. Yeah,
It's funny. I used to, like I said, I have strength conditioning. I was a strength conditioning coach for years, and actually, one of the dudes I worked with for a little bit was Jim Brinkley, who was a coach down there for a long time at De La Salle High School. And every time, like I said, you went to go fight, man, he was always talking about it. Like, oh man, Curtis is fighting this week. Gotta watch it. I'm like, hey, dude, this is what I do for a
I,
living. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
I rep the school every day. I still rep
That's
the
what I'm
hoodies
talking
now.
about. Let them know. I love it, man. I love it, dude. That's what I have to say. This, and again, one of the dope things is always seeing dudes from the city rep their city. How is that being an athlete from the city? Because you already know. I mean, look at the love. Obviously, we get D Rose gets everybody who's actually from there gets that type of love. How has it been carrying that Chicago flag into the UFC?
I'm honored. I'm very very proud to be uh born and raised in the city, and I understand the struggle of being an athlete. I know other athletes that are from Chicago. They understand the struggle, and I think that's the respect that we all have for each other because we know it's not easy. Like I said earlier, to like avoid all that bad stuff and reach a goal. And
Facts.
I I personally enjoy being able to rep the city because everyone, when they think about Chicago, they think about drugs and the violence and all the bad stuff. They forget about all the good stuff, all the culture and
Exactly.
and the,
Yes.
the cuisine and the architecture. They forget about all that. So I want to be something positive out of Chicago. I can remind people that there are positive things happening in Chicago. It's not all the bad stuff that the media portrays.
Dude, I love that, man. I'm so happy you said that, and that's why I thought it was important to have you actually say that on the show because again, not enough people think about that or know that. There's always such negative connotation when it comes to the city, and
Yeah.
that's not what the majority of us are about. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like that's not what the city is like. It's like literally they be talking about 2 blocks when the rest
Yeah.
of the city is
Yeah.
beautiful. You know what I mean?
They don't
So
understand. They don't understand. They think all of Chicago's Inglewood. Like whenever I tell somebody, "Oh, I'm from Chicago," they're like, "Oh, where you from? What part?" I'm like, "Southside." Like, "Oh, you from Inglewood?" No,
like
bro.
nah.
There's. Have you not heard of Hyde Park? Have you not heard of Bronzeville? 'Cause I grew up in Bronzeville,
Bronzeville.
right by
Okay,
De La
dude, you
Salle.
right there. Love that, man. Love that. See, and like I said, it's and those are such great historically like rich
Yeah.
areas in the city that have done so much. And cats like I said, just it goes over everybody's head because of the nonsense, man. But I digress. Like I said, you and I could do a Chicago
Yeah.
episode one of these other days
Yeah.
because I mean it really needs to be discussed, especially with there's such history, especially even in combat sports. I mean, shit, we got Justin McCatskill who's holding one of the, the boxing WBC belts right now, which is awesome to see, So we have such like, and shit, Juliana Pena, obviously she reps the city as
Yeah.
well. So obviously, we have that. But let's talk about MMA and let's talk a little bit about shit, the state of your division right now, the heavyweight division in the UFC. And it's really intriguing right now because obviously tonight is the title fight. We have Cyril Gane versus Francis Ngannou. And you're somebody that is always going to be right at the top of the division. So for you, how has it been just watching this play out? Because we haven't seen you compete since September of last year. So obviously I want to know when you're getting back in there, but what is for you the state of the heavyweight division looking like right now?
It's looking like how it's always looked for my whole since I've
Yeah.
been in the UFC since 2016. The
See?
heavyweight division at the top has been clouded in turmoil. Either we
Mhm.
got the Stipe versus DC. They fought back to back to
Yeah.
back, and then you got the interim belt. It's just always been like we don't have a clear idea of what's happening at the top. Right now, we don't know. Like Ngannou,
Right.
if he wins, is he going to resign? Is he going to get the belt up? Is he going to go join boxing?
That's real.
If he does, resign, who does he get next? Is it John?
Right.
Is it Stipe? I believe it should be Stipe, but it might not
Okay.
be. It might be John.
Yeah. I
Who
think it
knows?
should be too. He's definitely earned it. If anything, he's earned
Yeah.
it.
But that's another thing I've learned about the UFC. It's not all about what you earn. It's not really a sport based on meritocracy. It's really about who puts asses in the seats, and we know John
Facts.
puts asses in the seats. So
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who I'm gonna get next. I might get the loser of this fight, depending on. I don't know. It's just all up in the air.
Facts.
That's one of the reasons I'm here. I want to be
Right.
here for when it happens, so I can immediately get to working on the future for myself.
But dude, doesn't that make sense? And I know I was almost like, I'm not gonna say I was shitting on him, but I was talking about John earlier in the show this week, and I'm like, the fact that Buddy said he's not gonna even go to the fight, I think if you want to position yourself
Yeah,
as a businessman, you gotta be there
he don't want to be a heavyweight, bro. He could have been a heavyweight 8 years ago.
years ago.
He don't want to do this, and that's okay because heavyweight is not for everybody. It's not, so that's okay.
See, yo, and I'm glad you said that, man, because you are one of the guys that, bro, you are one of the bigger heavyweights out there. And the funny thing
Yeah.
about it is because it used to be the big heavyweights, and it was like the Shane Carwins of the world, right? They were just big, heavy, plotting kind of dudes.
Brock
Fam, you're an
Lesnar's.
athlete. You know what I'm saying? You're an athlete. So we're seeing these athletic heavyweights. I mean, what is it like I said, when you see like a John Jones who wants to come up to heavyweight right now? Where do you see an adventure? Like, how do you see you matching up with him specifically?
I think if I were to get matched up with John, the game plan for me remains the same. Use my boxing, use my footwork, head movement, get inside, avoid the long attacks that he has. He has mastered the art of maintaining range. So I'd have to get past that. But once I get out inside to that like zone 1 range, I use my
Mhm.
wrestling and just have to believe in my grappling. I know he's also an excellent grappler. He is also a JUCO and national champion for wrestling,
Mhm.
but I just believe in MMA, I'm the better grappler. I'm the best grappler out of the division. When you add the punches and grappling, I think I'm the best.
I love it. I love it, dude. I love it, man. And that's what like I said, before we get you out of here, like I said, because I know, like I said, I told you some time, so I want to make sure we keep you. I respect that for you.
You
But
good? You
dude, I
good?
love that. All right, yeah, and I thought, thank you, sir. I do appreciate that, man. But let me, before, I always ask people a couple questions, some fun before we get out of here. We got to talk about the fight shit, I know, but let's talk some fun real quick. I had to ask you. Like I said, we grew up in a hip hop community from Chicago. Fam, what are you listening to right now? What gets you hyped when you listening to you training, or you just vibing? What you listening to right now?
I listen a lot to Dolph and R.I.P. to
Oh,
Young Dolph.
R.I.P. to
Yeah,
the man.
yeah. I've always been a big fan. I wish I had went to his concert. He came out to Denver a few years ago, and I didn't go. And I was like,
Yeah,
I'll go in a few years, and I regret that. I listen a lot to Dolph. I listen a lot to uh, Chance the Rapper. I listen to his old stuff. I know he hasn't made a new album in a while, but I like
yeah.
listening to his old stuff. I
Oh,
listen to
for sure.
Dirt. Um, just a lot of the trap rappers. I like
Facts.
who else? Who else? I like Migos. I like Uzi. Just it's the beat because when you're in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
gym, you obviously I'm getting punched at. Or I'm on a workout. I'm not really going to be able to hear the lyrics. It's just the beat.
Right.
The beat is what goes. Yeah.
Yo, I got a funny story about Dirk. Yo, I used to so when I was in Chicago, I live in LA now. I
Oh,
recently I moved out here. Yeah, I'm out here in the city, man,
I'm
because
actually out here. I'm in Anaheim.
see, man, I gotta see if I knew. I would. I actually, I did. I should have hit y'all up, man, because I was trying to get out to the fights, but Dana don't be wanting to give people the media credentials, fam. So
You have to
you
work for
know,
that.
bro. Well, like it's wild. So like the PFL, they hook your boy up. I can get into the events. I do everything. Bellator, hook your boy up. I got a great relationship with them, especially because I'm like up and coming. I've been doing this for this is my 4th year, right? Doing this. So UFC still hits me with the, hey, you ain't been doing this long enough, kid. I'm like, shit.
It'll be
We
a
working
while.
on it.
Yeah, you'll get there
Facts, facts.
eventually. It'll be a while.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. But yo, funny. So when I was in the city, I used to I had a meal prep company. Yo, I used to cook for Lil Durk, and Lil Durk is a straight up
Oh,
vegetarian. Crack me up. I didn't even realize it.
I would have
Dog,
never thought that. I would have
never
never thought
guessed.
that.
Never
But
guessed. Yo,
usually
huh? Go ahead.
it's weird when you think about like rappers, you don't think about them being healthy. You just don't.
Right, right. So, dude, so Dirk, yo, he used to come and work out at the gym because I'm a strength and conditioning coach too. So over there, he used to go and work out with us. And then, like I said, I'm a chef by trade too. So we started cooking and shit for him. But no, Dirk cool as a fan. And he's literally a Chicago dude, like which is
Yeah.
obviously one thing I
He
really
seemed like a
fuck.
real one to me.
He is,
He seemed,
he is.
I never got a
Unfortunately, he's too
chance to
much
meet
like a
him.
real one sometimes.
Yeah. I just seen some posts he made about NBA young boy. Are they beefing? I don't know what's going on.
I don't even know. I peeped that earlier today, and I was just like, and I'm shitty about that because I like both of them. I don't want them beefing about no nonsense.
They always be beef. It might not even be some real beef. It might just be to hype up an album. You never know.
Facts, facts, facts. No, and low key, like I listen to hella Dirk, especially after that, man. And I feel you on the Dolph thing because I'm a huge Nipsey fan, and I was always
Oh,
like when Nipsey
I
was in
never really heard
Chicago.
about him. I
Oh,
never really heard
bro,
about Ipsy until after he passed away, and then I found his music. I am a fan of his old stuff. Well, obviously, he's not here no
yeah,
more, but I like his
yeah.
music. I wish I'd heard of him when he was alive still.
Yeah, so I'm a couple years older than you, and at first time I heard about Nip was because my guys we used to come out to LA a lot. So it was like 2014, and it used to bring back like mixtapes, and it was like, yo, this dude, Nip is sick. So I was listening to him ever since, and it was the same type of thing. He went to Chicago once, and I was like, it's cool. I'll catch
I
him on the
seen
next time around. You know what I'm
him.
saying? And then this nonsense happened. So man, it hurts my
Yeah,
heart, man. But look. I digress. Real quick. Also, I want to ask you, MMA wise, all of us have like whether it be movies or fighters or something that got you into MMA. What was the fight in that movie or the fighter that really you looked at like, I want to do this shit?
Velasquez. He was when I was in high school. I graduated high school in '09, and he was the
Yeah.
man. And he was a wrestler. I was a wrestler. I was like, I can do that. So
Hell yeah.
he was the one.
Dude, you know, it's funny too, but you see the influence there. You're the athletic heavyweight that could actually use your hands to use your hands to get into range, and you actually utilize your wrestling. I don't think enough heavyweights in the UFC do that. I feel like people are you're either striking or you're wrestling. Nobody's really tying it together in that same way. Only people that do it, obviously, DC did it well. Unfortunately, he fell in love with his hands way too damn much, also, and and Kane, yeah.
It won't happen to me because
Mm-hmm.
it happened to Ronda Rousey, and
Oh
I
my
didn't
God,
think it would
yes.
happen to her. Like she eats up that Brazilian girl, and she thinks she got hands, and she goes against
Yep.
Holly. She thinks she got hands, and she gets head kicked, and she does it again with Amanda. Thought she had hands. You don't have hands. You need to do. So like, I know who I am. Like if I have to
Facts.
strike, I'll do it. Like I did with
Oh yeah.
Junior Dos Santos. If I
Yes.
have to, I will. But if I can put you on your back, that's why I want you because you can't hurt me. And that's like I got 8 more years of doing this, and the best way for me to reach that goal is to not absorb all the damage. I think that's one of the things
Yes.
that hurt
Facts.
Blaydes' long term MMA career.
Yeah.
He didn't use the wrestling enough. He got into all those like wars where he was on his feet and they were standing and hanging. He could have easily used his wrestling. It was his
Oh yeah.
ego. He was like, "Nah,
Yes.
I'm not gonna do that because I want to be able to remember my daughter's uh 18th birthday. I don't want to be one of those dudes that, I don't want that."
Facts. No, dude, it's a smart way to do it, and to be realistic, and again, I'm obviously in the game, so like I love technique and everything, but there is a place for that destructive heavyweight that's gonna go down there, and again, that's something I've always said even about Francis. If Francis goes in here this week, it surprises everybody, takes down Cyril Gane and
Yeah.
punches a hole through his face.
he,
You know?
he is not going to shoot a takedown.
Oh, he's not going to, but could you imagine if he learned that?
Oh no,
Like,
that would be scary. That would be scary
no,
as fuck. But he don't want to put in the work to learn how to wrestle. It's a grind. That's why a lot of heavyweights don't want to use wrestling because it takes a lot of energy. People
oh
don't
yeah,
understand. Like every time I shoot and I take a guy down, even if I don't get off no significant strikes, they still have
mm-hmm.
to put in energy to get back up. And then I do it
Facts.
again. They have to put in energy to get back up again. And just it's like my coach uses this term. It's like you want to put someone in the washer. You know how it
Mm-hmm.
goes, and like you're tumbling and you don't know where you
Yep.
are. That's kind of what I want to do with my grappling. I just want to tumble you over and over
Yep.
until you're so disoriented. I
Mm-hmm.
can find the finish. That's
Yeah.
pretty much the game plan.
Dude, you can kind of see in your last fight against Rosenstruck, it was kind of like that. Every time you take him down, it's like he has to get back up. Every time you get
Yeah,
back up, it's like, ah,
yeah,
here we go
exactly.
again. And especially it's interesting for those strikers because obviously the more they do it, the hands come down more and more and more and more. And then
Yep,
you get caught like JDS flipping, oh, I'm takedown, oh, knock
exactly.
the fuck out now. So
You get it, but a lot of MMA fans they don't want to think about that. And I hate to say this, but MMA out of all the major sports, NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, out of all the major sports, MMA has the most uneducated fans. Like they
yes.
don't know when to boo, they don't know when to cheer. It's not
Yep.
like football when you see a team that they're running the ball and they're burning out the clock. The
Mm-hmm.
fans understand what's happening, so they're like,
Right.
"Yeah." In
Yeah.
MMA, you get a takedown just to win the round. They start booing you. I'm like, bro, you know I'm trying to win the fight, right? We only get I get half if I lose, so I
Facts.
like to win.
Yo, cats don't understand that. Have you fought anywhere specifically that it's a little different? Because like when cats fighting, like for instance, Japan, it seems like the fans are a touch more educated on what's actually happening. Have you fought anywhere that it's like that?
Abu Dhabi, when I went out
Abu
to
Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi, they understand. They value the grappling. They understand what's happening. They understand. Oh, that was hard. He just did that.
Yeah.
They get that. Americans, no, because the grappling in America, it's like, oh, you went for a takedown. Oh, you don't want to fight. That's
Right.
that's the part of fighting. Like if you want to watch guys just on the feet, there's this
You can watch
organization
boxing.
called Glory. There's a whole league
Right.
called Glory. You
Yes.
can watch that. But if you're watching MMA, you don't have to enjoy it, but you need to understand and appreciate the skill
And
set. Like
respect it.
it's and respect. That's all I want. I don't want people to be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I love you." No, I just want you to. I want respect. I just want respect. Because it's
Facts.
not easy. I got 62 takedowns at the heavyweight. That is not easy, bro.
No, it's not. It is not.
Not easy.
Dude, that's nuts, and it's awesome to see because again, it's one of those things that we need the different styles. And granted, I'm from a striking background. I'm a
It's
Muay Thai
okay.
guy. You know what I'm saying?
It's okay.
But hey, you best believe I be on that mat learning all my grappling and jiu-jitsu and everything, because at the end of the day, if you don't know that it's a component of the game, and one thing that people unfortunately don't realize is that the wrestler dictates the pace of the fight.
Yes.
The wrestler dictates where the fight takes place. So if you don't know how to deal with that, fam, like you said, it's a fight. That's on
Yeah.
you if you can't
Exactly.
deal with that.
Exactly. People get angry at me. Like, why'd you shoot? Why don't you get angry at him? Like, why'd you
Why
allow
didn't he
me to
stop
shoot?
it?
Yeah. Why didn't you stop me? Like, I've I've been stopped before. It is possible, but
Yeah.
people want to put it all on me. Like I'm supposed to ignore a major hole in my opponent's game because it's more entertaining for you. But are you going to
Yeah.
pay my bills? No, I
Exactly.
have to pay my bills. Are you going to feed my daughter? No, I have
Mm-hmm.
to feed my daughter. So That's why it's also easy to just remain me because I'm in it for the money, and the best way for me to get the money is to use my wrestling.
I love it. I love it, dude. I love it. That is, dude. We're prize fighters. You're here to get that prize, right? Like I got to get
Exactly.
paid. I love it, man. Last thing before we get you out of here, what for you? I said you said Cain Velasquez. Is there a fight if someone wants to look at Curtis Blaydes and say, "I've never watched Curtis fight"? What is the best representation of a Curtis Blaydes fight?
The Alistair Overeem fight in Chicago. Yeah,
I love it.
that's the one everyone watches. It's also one of my favorites, which is weird because Alistair's a buddy of mine now because
Yeah.
he came out to Elevation like the same year that we had that fight. So I don't really post a lot of those highlights because I feel weird now, but
Yeah,
that
that's
is
your
one of
guy
my
now.
favorite fights.
Oh, I love it. No, that was an amazing fight. And for me, again, kickboxing dude, I grew up on the Ubereem days. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? When my man was out there eating horse meat and knocking out Tyrone Spung. You know what I'm saying?
He's back. He's back. Uberim is
Fam.
back. Have you seen
Yes.
the?
Yes. I said, oh,
He's
my
back.
man went back to kickboxing and started eating horse meat again.
Yeah, because they don't really do like they don't really use USADAs. So it's like
No.
the old school days. You can if you want to go out there, just know that your opponent is probably on the sauce, which is all right. If
Juice to the
everyone's
gills.
if they're all gonna do it, that's fine. If they're all gonna
Facts.
do it, that's fine with me.
Nah, it's facts, man. But Curtis, brother, like I said, I've taken more of your time than I said I was going to, man. Thank you so
It's
much.
cool.
Um, thank you for joining. Good luck, much continued success to the rest of obviously this year. When do you think we'll see you back?
Right now, the earliest might be April because I'm
Okay.
hoping to get the loser of this fight.
Nice.
So I'd
Nice.
have to give them some time to heal up and all that. So yeah, hopefully April.
Nice, man. Well, brother, much continued success. Like I said, next time I say you're in LA or even I'm in the city, I'm gonna shoot you a
Yeah, I'll let
line.
you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, I'll shoot you a line because it's always not only good in this industry to kick it with obviously dudes from the city, but there's not many of us in this industry. So I always appreciate it when I get a chance to
Yeah,
chop it up with one of us. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Yeah, you're right.
All right, my brother.
But yeah,
Well,
I'll definitely hit you up next time I'm in the city.
thank you, sir, man. Much continued success, everybody. Curtis Razor Blaydes. Thank you, sir. You have a good wrestling. Yep.
Thank
Peace.
you.
All right, everybody. That is the man, the myth, the legend, Chicago's very own Curtis Razor Blaydes, man. I'm so happy to have him on the show, man. Obviously, I'm definitely going to take him up on that offer. I'm going to link up with him while he's in town. Chicago dude. Chicago. Love it. All right, you guys. This has been episode 330 of the greatest combat sports and culture show in the entire universe, the Fight Podcast. I'm your host, SERG VICENTE. And really quick, you guys will start seeing them obviously this week. You guys will be seeing this on Monday. I'm recording this on a Saturday, the 22nd. It is a big UFC pay-per-view today. You guys will be seeing this on Monday. So on Monday, when you guys go ahead and look at IG, make sure you guys go ahead and check out. We have merch. Our merch store is open. You could even see I'm rocking one of the new Fight Podcast crew necks right here. Love it. You guys check that out. You can grab them one online. We have hoodies. We have mugs. We have tees. Go ahead and support the show. Thank you guys for listening to this episode 330 of the greatest combat sports and culture show in the entire universe, the Fight Podcast. Make sure you listen to the Fight Podcast everywhere podcasting is available. Apple, Google Play, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Check us out at thefightpodcast.com. Follow me at Serge Vicente. Check out Curtis Razor Blaydes. Love you guys. We'll see you next time right here on the Fight Podcast.